Hello everyone, in today's video we will understand the provision of tax deduction on the rent paid to the landlord. If you have claimed any deduction of HRA while filing your income tax return, then you may receive income tax notice from the income tax department. There are certain provisions which need to be understood. We will cover into this video understanding HRA claims and TDS requirement for Indian taxpayer. What is HRA and why it is important? HRA provides tax exemption for employees who lived in a rented accommodation. HRA helps to reduce the tax liability. Proper documentation prevents notice from income tax authorities. Now we will understand the most important part of this video regarding threshold amount for the tax deduction at source, that is, we called it that TDS on rent paid to the landlord. TDS applies when a monthly rent exceeds 50,000. That is, if you are paying 50,000 rupees per month or more amount to the landlord, then you should deduct TDS on that amount. What is the TDS rate? TDS rate is 2%. Up to the October till last year, it was 5%, but after amendment, it is made 2% of the total rent amount. What is the time period for that? It is applicable even if threshold is crossed for a single month. For example, if you shift to the rented house in the month of March, and in the month of March you paid, for example, rent amounting rupees 55,000 rupees, then also this provision will get attracted. You have to deduct TDS on that single 1 month amount also, because threshold amount of 50,000 is crossed. Which section applicable in this case? Section 194 IB will be applicable in this case. It's a specific provision in the Income Tax Act governing TDS on rental payment. Who must comply? As we discussed in earlier slide, any tenant who is paying 50,000 per month and who is a resident Indian landlord deduct TDS as per this section. And what is the penalty for non-compliance? Your HRA deduction may get invalidated. You might also face additional penalty from Income Tax Department. Common scenario requiring TDS. As we discussed, if rent exceeding 50,000 rupees, then you have to deduct TDS under this section. Consequences of non-compliance. HRA claim may get invalidated. You may get tax demand notice from department, and you may also face a penalty proceedings. Steps to ensure compliance. You should deduct TDS of 2% of the rent amount. You should deposit that TDS to the government. You should calculate monthly rent so that you will understand whether you have to deduct TDS or not. Major takeaways from HRA claimant. Monitor rent payments. Deduct 2% if rent is exceeding 50,000. Maintain all the documentation properly, and this will help you to protect your HRA benefit. Thank you, friends.